Hello. Today's little cartoon demonstration is I've illustrated a joke which I saw on the internet, and it concerns the sport of skydiving, and it concerns a blind man and his guide dog skydiving, which is a very exciting sport. But the punchline at the end is completely unexpected, and it's, I think, very funny. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
So let's begin the drawing. I'm doing a pencil sketch first to get the general idea of illustrating the joke. And the first thing I want to draw is the blind skydiver falling through space. I considered various positions, and I thought this angle of him falling was the best one. And I wanted the guide dog to be beneath him and him holding the dog lead attached to the dog's collar. So here's the dog, and incidentally I've speeded up this sketching process in order to save time, but that's about it. So what I'll do now is revert back to normal speed and we'll ink in the drawing. And for this I'm just using an ordinary felt tip pen. So let's do the skydiver. And he's got a grin on his face because he's enjoying it. And we'll put a helmet on, because most skydivers wear helmets. And now I'll do his hand holding the ripcord of the parachute. And as you see, he's falling through space. That's coming along quite well. And now we'll do the arm holding the dog lead, and there's the harness for the parachute. And here's the parachute. Right, so let's do him holding the dog lead attached to the collar of his guide dog. A few lines to show he's falling through space. And now let's draw the dog. And I want I wanted an expression on the dog's face as looking slightly puzzled, thinking to himself, what on earth am I doing falling through space like this? So he's got this kind of quizzical look on his face. And while I'm drawing this, I'll tell the joke. It concerns a blind man, and he's telling his friend that he's just taken up skydiving. And his friend asked him, well, how can you do this if you're blind? And the blind chap said, well, he said, I'm standing at the door of the aeroplane, and they give me the ripcord, which I hold when I'm falling out of the aeroplane. And I then I'm given a slight push, and off I go, and my guide dog has also pushed out the plane. And that's fine. So his friend said, well, you know, you can't see, so what happens when you get nearer the ground, say about 300 feet? And the blind man said, well, he said, about 300 feet from the earth, he said, I've got a very keen sense of smell, and I can smell the trees, and I can smell the grass, and so I sense that the ground is coming up pretty fast. And so his friend said, well, what happens? He said, how do you know when to lift your legs up on the final contact with the ground before, to open your parachute? And the blind man said, oh, that's easy, he said. It's when the dog lead goes slack. Well, there you go. That poor old dog's going to hit the ground first, but at least he warns his master to pull his ripcord pretty fast. There we go. Finished drawing.